this is the best opening weekend in the history of the sport because we've never had 3 top 10 matchups, and we're going to get it. Obviously, starting off the noon kickoff on Saturday, featuring number 1 versus 3, Texas and Ohio State, and then of course, as I mentioned, I think Clemson's going to be in the championship game at the end of the year. Clemson versus LSU, and then the nightcap, of course, on Sunday night. So it'll be Notre Dame, Miami. So lots to cover, lots to discuss. You tell me where you want to go, and we haven't even talked about Penn State, which I'm sure we will.
Oh, we will definitely talk about Penn State. But let's tackle the big games and then the teams. Because in big picture, I think this is such a fun year that there's more teams that can win it than ever before. I mean, usually it's like, all right, Alabama, LSU, Auburn back in the day, right? Clemson, Georgia. But now you got there's like 7 teams that you can make an argument for.
And you can actually, I would even go up to like 10 to 12. You can make a case. And the fascinating thing, too, is 2 of the top 8 teams have a quarterback that you're familiar with that's coming back. In Cade Klubnik with Clemson, Penn State with Drew Aller, right? Everybody else has a new starter. Obviously, Arch Manning's been a part of it. Julian Sain's been waiting his time at Ohio State. Ty Simpson's been waiting his time at Alabama. But when you look at that's what stands out to me. C.J. Carr is new. He's been waiting his turn. He did all last year at Notre Dame. So, I find it fascinating that you could afford a loss this weekend and still be in the conversation. Heck, you could afford potentially 2 losses.
Oh, yeah.
Still be in the mix and have, a potential run. Like Dante Moore is one of those guys at Oregon that, played at UCLA. I think Oregon is one of those, I hate saying the word sleeper, but teams that no one's, talking about it at the top of the Big Ten because you have Penn State and Ohio State with Oregon, man. And, of course, Nebraska, Illinois could have a run like Indiana did last year because if you look at Illinois' schedule, and they got Luke Altmaier who's coming back, who's familiar with the system. Bielema's has got them where they want to be. So you could have some teams. You could potentially have 4 teams from the Big Ten, 4 teams from the SEC. I know those power conferences would like that representing in the playoff.
It's so deep.
It is.
It's just incredibly deep. Let's go conference by conference. I think that'll be fun. Because this is where we can look at teams. Let's start Big Ten. Let's start Penn State because I cannot wait to see what they're going to look like. We could say that the 2 backs, Aller, the receivers in the portal. I mean, what are you hearing from their training camp?
I've heard that the kid from USC, Kyron Hudson, looked really good. Listen, the Pena kid from Syracuse, he was a number 2 at Syracuse, and he's going to be – I think he's going to be a perfect fit into this offense. So I think when you look at Devontae Ross, another guy, all 3 of those guys sliding right in from the portal, the one thing that really helps is you already know who's the backfield. You can say you can make the case they have the best backfield in the country. If you're going to make an argument, maybe Notre Dame. But Notre Dame doesn't have – a guy who's a 5th-year quarterback in Drew Allen. So I think Penn State's going to be just fine. I think a Nevada matchup's perfect for them because then you can get the quarterback comfortable with the 3 wide receivers that are all going to be new. Keep an eye on a kid that I've heard it's the tight end. So they obviously lost, a kid to the NFL. But there's this Khalil Dinkins kid who's really athletic, but he also has speed that maybe Tyler Warren didn't have, and Aller really, really likes him. On the other side, if I'm a Penn State fan, I'm excited to have Jim Knowles as your DC, man. That dude is really good. You steal him away from Ohio State, and I think they're going to be – back in the day, they were linebacker U. I think you're going to see a lot more of a bigger role for linebackers. DeLuke is freaking great. So I really like and their secondary is freaking awesome. Like, Wheatley's freaking the man. So you should be feeling really good, Penn State. Like, really, really good. But we all know the matchup that's circled is Ohio State down the road, but you have time to figure it out before you get there.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because the schedule's perfect. You have buys before those big games. You have Oregon in a whiteout at Happy Valley, which you should win. And then, like you said, like you got Ohio State, and you have a bye before Ohio State, and you'll be most likely the favorite in the game.
I agree. And I will also say, as I started the conversation, that you could afford a loss. They could afford to lose to Oregon and beat Ohio State, or play the other scenario out.
Yeah.
Beat Oregon, and for Penn State fans, because it's in Columbus, lose to Ohio State. You could afford to do that, and you're still in the conversation down the road. You're still in a situation where you don't have to worry about a division, right? And you have a chance to play in the Big Ten championship, and that's all you want, man. You want the chance to play in the Big Ten championship.
All right, who's second? Because if you give Penn State the Big Ten title, is it without a doubt, right?
Julian's saying, I mean, he's a 5-star, committed to Alabama.
Yeah.
He committed the minute Saban left. He's been waiting.
Yeah.
They got the best player in all of sport, in the entire sport, in Jeremiah Smith. And if you don't think Jeremiah Smith is number one, well, they got the second best player in Caleb Dowd. So
it's either Ryan Williams or Jeremiah Smith, and
wide receiver, yes. But like I think Jeremiah Smith physically, like you're watching Julio Jones.
Yeah. Yeah.
and
with speed.
Julio Jones
with speed
as a freshman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who dominated.
Yeah.
So I think Ohio State is my pick. But Oregon, I love what Dan Lanning's doing. I think Dante Moore is a really special quarterback. So I would lean Ohio State just because of one thing. Ohio State's recruiting is so out of this world, man. Yeah. I've heard a lot of things about, their defense. Downs is great. They got some great linebacker play. I heard about a freshman named Bo Jackson, running back, and I heard he's pretty damn good. So they're not going to miss a beat in their
Bo Jackson. Ah!
Yeah.
All right. Oregon.
I like Oregon.
Are they a lock at 3 in your eyes?
Yes.
At least top 3?
They're a lock at 3. This is where it gets interesting. Because who you're going to give 4? And you can lean Illinois because of their schedule. They could have an Indiana run. But I like Nebraska a lot. Like, I like Matt Rule a hell of a lot. I think Dylan Raiola is the dude. They went in the transfer portal. They got a few wide receivers. He understood their weakness. They're going to play physical. They got to still figure some stuff out in the beginning. It'll be a nice game to watch tonight as a measuring stick against Cincinnati by saying, hey, where are we? Where we need to make that turn on year 3, because that's where Matt does his magic, where he did it at Temple, where he did it at Baylor.
Yeah, 10-4 at Temple, 11-3 at Baylor in year 3.
Yes. I would be disappointed if they're under 9 wins this season. They're pretty good, man. And if that quarterback, plays to win games, not plays to throw the ball in tight windows because I'm Dylan Raiola and look at my arm, they're going to be really good. And I'm sure Matt will make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I'm excited by them. What about Michigan? Because speaking of highly talented quarterbacks,
quarterback is unbelievable, man. But he's also 18 years old, so literally no one knows. Michigan's like the unknown, like with this whole conversation. Like, I don't think anybody knows what to make of how Michigan. I actually think, Sherrone Moore wants that. Like, this kid from Michigan, freak show, could have gone to LSU, number 1 player in the country. They haven't had a guy like that, but he's going to make mistakes. So it's a matter of when you play Michigan, because you're going to be in a dogfight. They'll punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Bryce Wood is one of those kids. He's the youngest quarterback to start an opener for Michigan at 18 years in the 146-year history of the program.
Wow.
So the kid is freaking amazing. But the problem is he's a freshman. He needs
Yeah,
reps.
yeah,
True
yeah,
freshman. So
yeah.
we'll see what happens. But Michigan can snipe you. They can stun you and surprise you. But I think Michigan's going to be a team to beat in a couple of years, but not the team this year. And I could be wrong, but that's kind of where I look at it.
That's kind of how I thought it would. I agree with that. That's kind of how
Yeah.
you would naturally think of it. SEC, which is good, which is really going to be interesting because I almost think Alabama is being underplayed. I love Simpson. I think he's going to be a stud, and I think Bama's watch out.
Alabama's defense is so freaking nasty. Like, I'm actually going to say this a couple times during this SEC conversation. Like, Alabama, so Ty Simpson's been waiting his turn. I think DeBoer's great. They have Grubb come back. You know, Grubb was with DeBoer when he was at Washington, and Grubb's a really, like, he's a great OC. So I really like, you brought up Ryan Williams. I think Ty Simpson and Alabama are going to just get the job done in one of those things where you're going to watch them beat up Florida State, and everybody's going to be like, hey, what about Alabama? Well, anybody that follows it, Alabama's defense is so freaking nasty. And I think that they like the idea. Don't talk about us. Keep talking about, and I'm going to bring this up.
Horns. They're talking about horns.
Keep talking about Texas. Keep talking about Nussmeier. But I'm going to bring up some guys that they're going to be household names in the NFL. Overton, Keenan, Smith, Russo, Lawson, Jackson. That's freaking Alabama's defense. And this is the type of team that for Eagles fans, write those names down because they may be on the Eagles roster in a few years because Howie Roseman is going to be like Alabama and Georgia. Those are the two teams I'm thinking defensively.
Yeah, no, I totally see it. Speaking of Texas, and obviously we're all arched up, but are we overrating Texas? I mean, we saw the run last year, right?
Sark's phenomenal, man.
He's a great coach. Yeah, he's a great deals with quarterbacks, and
the minute he took over. And you're right. Like I mean, CJ Baxter's back. That CJ Baxter has really slick moves, man. And obviously with the injury that he had last year, I think Arch has done a phenomenal job of just tempering. I know where I'm at. I know I'm good. I know what I can do. I'm not going to get overhyped. I'm not going to overhype myself. I think Arch has handled it really well. One thing Arch that's going to be interesting with Texas more than anything else is their line has moved a lot. They lost a lot of dudes. Texas is going to make Arch run. I think there's going to be some design plays. Don't forget his dad was
smart.
Right? So Arch can move. I don't think we're overrating Texas at all. I think their defense is really good. I like Texas a lot. I think Texas is going to be in that I put Clemson there. I think Texas will be in that Final Four when the season's over.
Listen, I think they win. I think they beat Ohio State.
That's what scares me, man. You and VG would know this more than anything else because they're 1.5 point underdogs. I think they're screaming for the public to take 1.5 points.
Yeah.
In 50 plus years, we've never seen a preseason number one in under a season opener. And everybody is like, hammer time.
Yeah.
And that scares me.
No, you're right. You should be. How do you think, like LSU Clemson's a big one. You're high on Clemson in the ACC. You think that they're going to be a national championship team. Is it Klubnik? Is it what are you seeing? How much you love Clemson? Besides the schedule.
This is the revenge year for Clemson. This is Dabo saying, you know what? I didn't care about the portal. This is about culture. This is about my guys coming back. And Clemson, if you look at all the top 10 teams, when you look at their units, they have the least questions. They don't have a lot of questions.
This is good.
Because they have 75 to 80% of their roster, like of the starters, coming back. So Klubnik, third year in the offense. They have their receiver group that looks like the receiver group that we got used to watching years ago. Klubnik's going to be a day one pick. He's that good. Their defensive line, and I just raved about Alabama. I'll rave about Texas. I'm going to rave about Auburn. I think Auburn's defensive front is just nasty.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a bounce back. I like
I
Auburn.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I say all of that, and I think Clemson has the best defensive line in the country. Like Clemson's got dudes, man. They got monsters there. I'm going to bring up two guys that are also going to be. By the way, Tom Allen, former DC, is now the DC there. They got two guys in that freaking front that are T.J. Parker, and you got to keep an eye on Peter Woods. Those two guys wreak havoc on the front lines. And LSU lost 4 offensive linemen that went to the NFL. So I am very curious about how LSU, the play calling with LSU, because if Nussmeier throws the ball 40 times and that that wide receiver room is stacked at LSU, if they fall in love with throwing the football, Clemson's defensive front could dominate and make it a long night. They've got to run a little bit. BK's got to run a hell. Brian Kelly's got to just run your LSU.
Yeah.
Run a little bit. Don't fall in love with Nussmeier throwing the ball 40.
Yeah.
But they're watching.
I'd raise my hand because I'd say I love Nussmeier. I love his arm. But to your point, it's the same thing you said about Raiola. Like I love him too. And it's like, all right, well, you can't fall in love with throwing in tight windows because those guys will throw picks because they have the arm that can do it in a weird way.
Yes. And the key for LSU is this. It'll be interesting to see, with the addition, of Tom Allen. The key will be, did Clemson get better at tackling? They were awful against the run. They were the worst team in the ACC last year against the run. I just raved about their defensive line. They couldn't tackle. They can go after the quarterback. So does LSU realize, hey, we're LSU. We've got some running backs. Can we run the football a little bit? I hear that from Booker McFarland every single Saturday. Run the ball a little bit, please. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. Don't fall in love with throwing the football 40 to 50 times because after a while, man, like especially with your offensive line against that front, they could wear down, and it could be a long third and fourth quarter with Nussmeier maybe trying to do too much.
Yeah,
which we saw a couple of times last year.
Yeah, that's a great point. Lastly, what about the Irish?
So before I don't want to forget Florida and Lagway, phenomenal.
I meant to bring him up. Yeah. They were talking about Lagway looks great, right?
He looks fantastic. The one thing that works against Florida is their schedule is brutal. Their schedule absolutely
Howie
brutal.
was chirping because he's a Florida guy.
Dude, Lagway is really, really good. But I will also add one other thing. The quarterback that no one's on the outside talking about, and you may just want to say, you know what, let me look at the Heisman odds and let me just slide a little. Lenora Sellers of South Carolina.
Wow, yeah.
South Carolina's defense is like nasty. Lenora Sellers, when healthy, will win football games. You're watching potentially the next Cam Newton. He is built just like Cam.
Yeah, big.
Got an arm and
big
he can
arm.
Run. Beamer knows what he's doing. Lenora Sellers is going to be like one of those guys. I think on one of the sports books was like 16-1, and I was like,
there you go, VG.
I'm looking it up now.
Oh, that's.
But Lenora Sellers is one of those guys. If healthy, gives South Carolina a shot every single game. As for Notre Dame's got the second best backfield in the country. Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Prince, phenomenal. Phenomenal. CJ Carr is going to be interesting just because, he's the grandson of Lloyd Carr, spurred Michigan, waited a year at Notre Dame, basically said, if you bring in another transfer quarterback, we're going to go. And now he gets his shot. I think he's going to have growing pains as a freshman, but Marcus Freeman's done a phenomenal job recruiting. Their secondary just studs. Their defense is freaking really good. Like really, really, really good. Their offensive line has a mixture of a lot of starts, a lot of experience. So I really like Notre Dame.
I think they buried Miami. I'll be honest with you. I think they beat Miami by double digits. Like I think they win by 10, 14.
I think you may be right. It just comes down to what we get from CJ Carr. If CJ Carr can throw the ball, can make 3 or 4 passes in this game that you're like, whoa, it changes the entire thing of what Cristobal wants to do. Miami's roster, we talked about this with Cristobal in the past, it's stacked. Carson Beck, stacked. But where are you going to be if it's a close game? 3-point game in that environment, and you have the ball, I'm kind of curious to see what we get from Carson Beck.
I feel the same way, man. I'm unimpressed. I was unimpressed last year. I thought he was going to be something, and
I agree.
I hated the way he played. I'm saying it's a shame, but
yes. You know. And I'd be remiss if I don't mention one more team, and I know I keep on going SEC. Watch out for Georgia.
Yeah,
their defense. I've heard so many things about their defense from people in the know. Georgia's back. Georgia's pissed off. Georgia's like, we've heard enough of everybody talking about everybody else. They really like their quarterback and Gunner. Just look how they responded when he came in.
They responded with him.
They did. They did.
Wow, man, it's going to be an epic year.
Yeah. It feels like we mentioned 8 to 10 teams, right?
I know. It's going to be incredible.
The question is, we didn't mention Tennessee. So VG, has VG thought about his team?
Well, here it is. Like, we're going to unveil his team because it's an
unboxing of the hat. I've been waiting for this.
Oh boy.
And let me think. I got something. I got to know how my boys talk.
Okay. All right.
Ain't nothing finer in the land. Than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. Hey, let's go, Bulldogs. Let's go, Bulldogs.
Wow.
Dude, let's go.
And by the way,
I was hoping you guys weren't mentioning them at all. I was like, please don't even mention them under the radar. Yeah, let's go.
That's good, man. I like it. And Kevin was all over it because it was funny. All these teams, and I forgot Georgia.
They got KJ Bolden. We got Cole, Chris Cole. We're ready to go. Kirby, let's go.
Kirby.
So listen, they're freaking really, really good, man. They got the speed burner from USC, the wide receiver. So
they're not getting any love. Trust me. I was trying to find someone who predicted them to win. Nobody.
No, that's a good call by you.
Perfect example. What was going on with that Texas-Georgia game, and everybody was talking about Texas. Remember in Austin?
Yes.
Georgia was like, Georgia heard all about it, and Kirby that stuff. So listen, everybody's heard a lot about Texas. You hear a little bit about Bama. You hear a little bit about LSU. And Georgia's coming back, man, with that defense, man. They are pissed off. You are going to have a very nice fall.
Nice. I like it. Me hanging out with Nolan Smith. We watching some games together.
Shoot, you wear that hat around the Eagles facility, you've got a bunch of friends. Like, come on. Under Nolan Smith, Keely Ringo, they're all finding you. Jordan Davis, come on now. Howie knows what he's doing.
That's right.
Dude, I wanted to do LSU so bad, but I hate the coach.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the coach.
George is a good one. George is good. Actually, good call. Good call by you.
I like Brian Kelly, but I also understand that from the outside perspective, especially some of those post-game comments. But I think George is the safest pick right now. If you're riding a wave, right? Not just saying, yeah, I'm going to go Texas or I'm going to go Ohio State, right? I think that's a good pick. Now, I do have a question, VG, especially considering our audience. Why did you not pick Penn State?
I'm not a Penn State fan. I love their fans that watch us, but some of their fans are a little hard to stomach.
I'm rooting Penn State.
Yeah,
Penn State's going to be really good, man. But
I'm going to root Penn State.
I think everybody in that fan base is saying, yeah, it's September. Tell me in November.
Yeah.
Tell me what happens after Columbus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't wait. I cannot wait to see how that builds up.
That's going to be awesome. Oh, I can't wait to watch you this weekend, baby. It's going to be awesome. You are the greatest, brother. And then we get you Thursday doing Sports Center from the link.
Yes.
Football
Yeah.
season is here. Thank you, Lord.
I'll hit you up. We'll get together, fellas. All right.
I love you, brother. Thanks,
Be good.
pal.